Hey everybody, it's Scott. Welcome back to the One-Off Shop. Today we got a nice little savory dinner for you. We're going to be making individualized mashed potato cups with marinated steak bites, and we're going to serve it up with a nice creamy white queso. So stick around, it's going to be good. Alright, so to go ahead and prep our meat, I've got 3 pre-tenderized Angus steaks here. We'll just go ahead and get these chopped up into little 1" by 1" cubes. Nice and small, something about like this. And we'll just go ahead and throw these into our bowl. And as soon as we're done with that, we'll be back. Alright, once you've got all your meat cut up into small pieces, go ahead and take your 3 tablespoons of olive oil and pour that over the top of it. You can get in there with your hands and mix it up, or I'm using a sealed bowl. Just go ahead and seal it up, and let's roll that around, make sure everything gets good and coated. We want this olive oil on the meat. It's going to help provide moisture, and it's going to give us a medium for our seasoning to stick to it. Alright, so let's go ahead and open that up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shake in our marinade mix. What I've chosen today is a Grill Mates, McCormick Grill Mates brown sugar and bourbon marinade mix. So we'll just go ahead and take that, and we'll I will tell you, this is just a partial bag. I had used part of this once before. This is only maybe about 2/3 of what's actually in there. So we'll just go ahead and shake all that in there. Go ahead and seal our bowl back up. And we'll go ahead and roll that around, give it a good shake, and get everything coated good. And just keep going until you see that all sides of the meat, you're not seeing any flat sides coming up against the side of your bowl that doesn't have any seasoning on it. So once you're done, you're going to want to look something like that. Alright, so go ahead and dump in your 1/4 cup of melted butter. And once again, go ahead and seal up your bowl and give that a twirl. Get everything coated real good with that butter and those seasonings. Alright, go ahead and take this and place it in your refrigerator for at least 4 hours. Let all those seasonings and everything really seep into that meat good. And after 4 hours, we'll come back and we'll show you how to start putting all this together. Alright, once you get your meat out after it's been marinating, go ahead and take it and put it immediately into a hot pan so you can get it cooking. Don't worry about getting all that butter out. I know it's going to be partly solidified in there with your meat, but we want to cook this straight from cold. There we go. So get that in there and start getting it brown. Just get your meat nice and brown on both sides, and then take it up, because it's going to be going in the oven, so it'll finish cooking there. But we want to get that good sear on the outside and seal in those flavors from our marinade. Alright, we've got our meat all browned up here, and we got it draining on a paper towel because we want to dry this meat out as much as we can, because it's going to be baking in the oven. So what we're going to do now is turn our attention to the mashed potato portion. I've chosen these smoky cheese and bacon mashed potatoes for a little added extra flavor. We're also going to be throwing a few peppers in when we mix these up, and we'll get the water boiling, and we'll get these made up, and we'll show you how we're going to assemble these. I've got my mashed potato mix in my bowl here. I went ahead and added a couple tablespoons of El Cheapo bacon bits just to add a little extra flavor. Now, being that we're going to be baking these mashed potatoes, we're going to be making them up a little different than the package directions. It calls for 2 cups of water. Reduce that by 1/2 cup, so only add 1.5 cups of boiling water. We want these to be just a little stiff when they go in the oven. Let's go ahead and add that. And we'll get these mixed up.
Trees
Alright, now that we've got those mixed up, let's go ahead and get our ramekins prepared. Alright, to prepare our ramekins for the oven, all we're going to do is we're going to take a little room temperature butter here and our little silicone brush, and we're just going to brush in the inside of these. Make sure you get it down in the corners and you cover all the sides all the way up to the top. Alright, now that we've got all of our ramekins buttered, let's go ahead and we'll take a little bit of our mashed potato mix and we'll put in the bottom of each one and kind of flatten it out a little bit. These little silicone spatulas come in handy for this kind of thing. Just go ahead and mash it down. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but just get you a nice little layer down there in the bottom. Something about like that. Alright, make sure your oven is preheating to 375. I forgot to say that before we started this part. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our meat bites here and we're going to go ahead and we're going to transfer a few of these, like 4 or 5, into each one and kind of just make a little layer down here in the bottom with them. Alright, we got just a few stragglers here and we'll get those put in. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the rest of our mashed potato mix and we're just going to go ahead and fill these in and seal them up. Kind of go sparingly at first to make sure that you're going to have enough for each one, but this should be okay. Alright, once you've got all your ramekins sealed up with your mashed potatoes and stuff, go ahead and take you a paper towel and go around the edge and just clean off that top edge because we don't want it to burn or get crusty up there. Alright, so there's our steak bites inside mashed potato cocoon inside of our ramekins. We'll go ahead and get these in the preheated oven, which is 375, for 35 to 40 minutes or until the tops start turning golden brown. Alright, for our queso, we're just going to be using a can of this white queso that you can get at Walmart. We're going to go ahead and get that into a pan and get it started warming up. We're going to actually spice it up just a little bit, being our meat is marinated with bourbon and brown sugar. We're going to go ahead and we're going to season the cheese with a little bit of spice to counteract the sweet, and maybe they'll play off each other and we'll see how it tastes. So let's go ahead and we'll get this cheese into the pan and start getting it warmed up. Alright, we've got our cheese in the pan and it started to warm up. Let's go ahead and add about a tablespoon of our 4-pepper blend here. Just enough to give it a little spice. We'll go ahead and get that mixed in. And we'll get this cheese warmed up so it's ready to ladle over top of our steak bites and our little mashed potato ramekins. So stick around, we'll be back as soon as that stuff comes out of the oven. Alright, now that we've got our ramekins out of the oven and they're nice and brown on top, go ahead and immediately take some of your warm cheese and just go ahead and top off those ramekins. All right, our ramekins have been cooling for about 10 minutes now. Let's go ahead and move one to a plate here. Use the oven mitt just in case. Let's see what we got here. Oh man. The bourbon brown sugar marinade is definitely coming through in the meat. A little bit of added extra spice in the cheese. And the extra bacon bits we added to the potatoes really tops it all. Man, that's good. This is a nice fast meal. About 15 minutes prep in the morning time. And about 45 minutes to throw it all together in the evening. You go ahead and serve this with like some corn or some green beans, maybe some peas, something like that. All right, that's it for this episode. So tune in Tuesday. We're going to be doing something crazy with everybody's most hated breakfast food, oatmeal, but we're going to turn it into something good. So until next time, keep rifling through the cabinets, keep rummaging through the fridge, and turn those what ifs into a one-off.